Hello, beautiful beings. This is Katerina Satori bringing you this topic of your highest purpose, your true soul calling hidden in your DNA. And how do we access it? And how do we unlock it? And how do we bring it to life? I'm gonna wait 10 seconds. If you guys are catching a replay, welcome. And if you are catching me live, you know how much I love connecting with you live. Welcome, you guys, welcome. This is Katerina Satori and excited to share this topic with you. How many of you have been intentional about your DNA activation? Can you comment yes on the comments? I just wanted to see what's the range we have, and how many of you just say this is the first time I hear DNA activation. Just type first time so I can see. Let's see. Yeah, I can see the comments. Awesome, you guys. Yay! What you guys doing on Friday night? I have a sunset and wine planned later. Yes, Ronald. Something told me that you would be the one who would say yes, for sure. Darlings, while everybody's logging in, this topic of DNA activation is in my heart simply as a way to remind you that you are so much bigger than you remember yourself to be. You are so much more powerful. You are this eternal being that lived through many incarnations. And we incarnate on this planet. We intentionally choose to go through this kind of amnesia and choose to forget who we are in order for us to experience this life on planet Earth kind of with a clean slate, you know? Clean slate, and learn new lessons and gain new wisdom, soul wisdom through experience. So you guys, DNA activation is found me a few years ago. You know, it came to my radar, and I believe, you guys, eventually it's part of the spiritual journey. Eventually you will either start hearing about DNA activation or start being drawn to books, right? Or people you will meet on your path who will share a process, a technique, or tools with you. It's a part of, I would say, spiritual awakening and maturation and remembrance of who you are. And you guys, how I understand DNA, I always compare it to this cosmic library that you arrive to the planet Earth with. And as a soul, you cannot lose memory of who you are. You cannot lose the experience and the wisdom that you accumulate through every single lifetime. So where does the memory go, right? Where does the knowledge go? Well, it's stored within your body. Layers and layers and layers of your DNA. Yeah. Hi, you guys. Welcome. Welcome, PJ. Hello. Ram. Yes. I'll wait for a little more seconds. I am just doing the introduction before, and then we're going to dive deep. And you guys, I wanted to share with you kind of a very simple technique you can do on a daily basis to really pay attention on which state of your DNA. Hi, Ram. Hi, Don. Hi, you guys. Welcome. Very simple technique I'll share with you of, you know, you can monitor where you are, right, on this kind of vibrational scale. But I will give you two metaphors. The first metaphor is the cosmic library. So all your ancestral knowledge, all your ancestral history, so you can trace through DNA, you can trace all the way, you know, through the to the very first people that ever came to this planet, right? So your DNA lineage is, I think it's very hard to comprehend through the mind how massive it is. You know, it's like this deep well of of knowledge and experience and power and energetic history through every incarnation that you've been through. And you guys, I titled this video that your highest purpose is hidden in your DNA, is hidden between the layers and layers and layers of ancestral lineage and karma and these life lessons that you came here to learn, right? It's kind of like a pearl, you know, when you dive to reach the pearl. Hi, Alexander. Oh my goodness, you're interested in DNA activation. Well, welcome, welcome. Yes, you guys. So cosmic library is the first metaphor, right? And the second metaphor I'll share with you that really just clicked for me. It's DNA is a holographic portal, you know, it's like a wormhole, you know, multidimensionally speaking. So now scientists realize that DNA is very sensitive to our environment, right? To external environment and to internal environment. External environment is obvious. I'm going to focus on internal environment, right, you guys? So internal environment, welcome Doree, welcome Kyle, Joy, come on over to the soul station. Welcome you guys, welcome Joseph, hello. So you guys, I'm talking about DNA activation and the science of epigenetic, right? Epigenetics. They talk about how our DNA is incredibly sensitive to environment, external environment and internal environment. So our internal environment, that's what we mean by our thoughts, our emotions, right? Our inner world. So your DNA, imagine your DNA is like a flower in a way, you know? When you have a negative internal environment, your DNA is gonna contract. It's gonna be closed off, right? When your environment is positive, happy, fulfilled, you know, like this beautiful state of being of your heart is open, your DNA is gonna expand. Your DNA is gonna expand, your life is gonna expand. You know what I mean, you guys? So our body is a microcosm, mirror of the macrocosm of the world, right? Everything is holographic in nature. So you guys, our DNA at any point either expands or contracts. If you will remember just that, I bet you will see your emotions, your thoughts, and your actions very differently, knowing that every negative thought will shut down your DNA. Every negative feeling, the one that is rejected and not looked at, will shut down your DNA. Hi, and welcome, you guys. On the same way, every time you open your heart, no matter what happens, you say, I allow and I choose to embrace this experience, your DNA is going to open up, your life is going to open up, your opportunity is going to open up, your mind is going to go up. That's why, you guys, every time we are stressed is a frequency that shuts down DNA, shuts down your operating system. You know what I mean? So very, very crucial, you guys, to understand that our DNA either expands or contracts, right? Our DNA is also a cosmic library that stores our ancestral history. Every single thing that your mother's line experienced and your father's line. So we inherit DNA from our parents. It's crucial to understand, darlings, because on the path of awakening, your spiritual path of, yay, Carla, stress is the frequency that shuts down DNA. That's right, darling. Thank you for writing this down, you guys. It's crucial because once we understand that, we can work with these energies from this perspective, you know? So you guys, so your DNA is a cosmic library, right? Everything that's been passed on to you, right? And why is that important? Because when you are going through the process of empowering and becoming this autonomous soul, sovereign soul, right? You go in and you raise your vibration, you purify your energy. What you're going to experience at some point, it's inevitable. You will feel the heaviness of ancestral karma. Right, you guys? And, you know, and it can show up as, why the frack I keep attracting the same partners as my mother did. or why I can't break through financial ceiling of my father. Have you guys ever been there? Well, I have been many times. So you start putting two and two together, you know? You start paying attention to your ancestral lineage, and then the next question, well, I can't solve it through the mindset. I can't just solve it through the will. It's energetics. Ancestral karma is created on an energy level. You come in the body, your karma, ancestral karma, comes with the vehicle of your body. Can't escape it, can't shortcut the process, right? So you guys, oh, what's going on with the sun? Okay, so if you see this perspective, you guys, the DNA activation happens when you start clearing out ancestral karma, right? And when you start clearing out ancestral karma, it's almost like all this programming of lack, limitation, undeservability, you know, unworthiness, something that, you know, it's not even yours. You just came to this incarnation carrying that and having an opportunity to heal it. So this ancestral karma stops with you. Every generation, you know, has an opportunity to heal and to become this, you know, liberator of your ancestral line. Isn't it a fascinating idea to play with, to experience with? I think it is. So you guys, no matter where you came from, I can only imagine every single one of you could tell me a story about your ancestral line that's gonna make me cry. Right? And so am I. And you guys, how do we get to the core of the higher purpose hidden in our DNA? By embracing this ancestral baggage that we came from, right? And learning to forgive it, learning to clear it, learning to transmute it. This is where spiritual alchemy comes in, when you learn to transmute the karma. Powerful stuff, you guys. I'm introducing these concepts. Some of you already run with it, already live it. And for some of you, it can be a brand new conversation. Just be with it, you know, just be with it. That's what I'm inviting you. And maybe I'm going to plant a few seeds and they will germinate and they will sprout when the time comes. But this, you guys, what liberated me, you know, I started looking at ancestral stories that I inherited through my DNA, through that multidimensional portal. Right, you guys? And then, so remember, your DNA can either expand or contract. Expand or contract. Positive thinking is not enough. This is great. It's a great start, you guys. But positive thinking alone, you only access something on mental level, right? You gotta engage your emotions, you gotta engage your energetics, you gotta engage your whole being to really shift on many different levels of your energetic being. So, how do we add some power to just positive thinking to expand our DNA? Here's the secret. Here's $1 million secret. If you just take it away, you guys, your life will shift, you know? The secret is in our attitude in the moment. The secret is our attitude in the moment, darlings. So, you caught yourself in a contracting experience. You're going through your day and boom, the wave of stress hit you. You know, something's going on with your kids, something's in the business, something in the world, and you feel the energy and the frequency of stress, and you feel everything is shutting down. At that critical point, if you can remember that your attitude determines your frequency, right? So you can feel it. You can allow this experience to open your heart. That's right, Carla. The secret is our attitude in the moment. An honest attitude, you guys. You know, the attitude that you know which attitude really shifts everything in your vibrational reality? Attitude of willingness. Attitude of open heart. Attitude of saying, let me welcome this experience. You know? Let me see. Let me find that silver lining. Let me open my heart, let me open my soul. It's that kind of attitude. Not just positive thinking, oh no, I'm good. I don't want to deal with this. I'm just going to put it over here. I'm good. That's putting a bandage over your heart, right? What if we witness what's happening with an open heart every trial you're going through will give you this opportunity to soften your heart and to really open to your experience. And when you open to your experience, you guys, your DNA opens. And from a DNA opening, you're going to have an open perspective. So this is just a beginning, right, you guys? It's a simple tool that you can take. If you remember, either expands or contracts depending on the inner environment. External environment often is completely not under our control, and there's grace in that, right? But inner environment is always, always under our control. This is what we can be totally in charge of. And it's through your attitude miracles happen, right? Because it's through your attitude of willingness, darlings, willingness. So DNA is the multidimensional wormhole, right? A multidimensional portal that links you to your ancestors. That's why Native Indians, you know, whenever they do their rain dances or rituals or whatnot, they call on their ancestors, and they're so tapped into that frequency that they can invoke the rain after a drought. How do they stay connected? Through DNA, you guys, through DNA. It's a portal, you know, if you can see it like that. So really, really powerful, you guys. I did massive DNA activation last year. Last year was a year where I let go of a lot. I was going through such letting go. Have you guys been through a deep letting go lately? Comment in the comments if it's a yes. If you've been asked to let go of maybe the job that was killing you, partnership that expired, a location of a place, maybe opportunity that you've been hoping and praying for, maybe even some kind of a physical illness was a letting go process. Every time you go through letting go, it's a purification process. Purification, because when you're in the letting go, you're in a state of such openness and inner surrender. Maybe not in the beginning. Maybe in the beginning when you are in letting go process, you're kicking and screaming, right? You're like, no, I don't want to let go. No, maybe I'll let go just a little bit, but not all of it, right, you guys? But eventually you realize that struggle is futile. When that spiritual letting go is coming to you, better to allow, accept, embrace, welcome it with your open heart. Right, guys? Yeah, Carla says, I let go of a lot of grief. Yeah, exactly. Looks like you guys, something is falling, like I have a poltergeist here or something. It's so funny. Yeah, letting go of that grief, right, Carla? And just, you know, feeling it leaving your body. Yes, darling. So that was my year, last year, huge let go. And I kept hearing DNA activation, and I started doing this deep work, you know, and then next year, no, it was last year, I started teaching it. I started leading, sometime maybe once a year, I offered a karmic clearing DNA activation class. You know, you guys, it's very hard to explain it logically because it's not a logical process. It's a multidimensional process when you work with ascended masters, when you work with, you know, really spiritual beings to activate the dormant information in your DNA. And you know, you guys, when the scientists say 80% is a junk DNA, right? 80% or 90% they say it's junk DNA. That's the ancestral karma. A lot of it is ancestral karma, darlings. Invisible to the eye, invisible to the medical device, but it's something that we feel, you know? If I ask you to find similarities between you and your parents, you know, or look at your siblings. A lot of us will have a sibling that is completely opposite than us, that's not drawn to spirituality, not drawn to deep inner work. And look at them and see how similar they are to the life of your parents. It's like twins. Right? So if we don't activate our DNA, if we don't clear ancestral karma, chances are 10 out of 10 that we will have exactly the same karmic destiny as our parents. And you guys, I don't know about you, but to me that is not the future that I want. Because I've seen my parents struggle. I've seen my parents never heal the emotional body, never heal the biggest grief, you know. And only now my mom is you know, returning to the wisdom, because, you know, her old age is coming. And the old age is coming, you see life very differently, right? Yeah, you guys. So this is kind of like, and if you don't have a sibling, you know, just look at some of your friends who, some is, you know, your friend maybe is on the path, but their siblings are not, and you can just see contrasting experience. You know, the proof is in the pudding. And you guys, I like to go deep and dig deep and kind of like, you know, find the root of it. And the root is DNA, you guys. And, you know, you can do DNA activations. You can go to different portals. Why I am so committed to keep bringing people to portals? Because, you guys, it's something like, it's an accelerated activation, all I can tell you. You know, all over the world, we have these sacred sites where the energies come together in such incredible synergies that your body awakens, your cellular memory awakens, the wisdom of your soul awakens. You remember the song that you came here to sing. You know, you remember that. It's a very, very powerful, you guys. For me, when I was going through my very first like deep spiritual crisis, goodness, 10 years ago, yeah, 9 years ago, I had a massive spiritual crisis that took me to like 2 years of like this nagging depression. Hi Mandy, hi Ram. And you guys, the first call that I got when I couldn't get out of it was to go to India. Ram is from India. And I went to India. It's a sacred land, you know, and I had so many deja vu experiences. That was my first experience of going to a land that carries century and century and century of memory, right? Where your body remembers and your body begins to awaken spontaneously. So there is many different portals that you can travel to. And it's gonna accelerate your growth. It's like a quantum leap. Instead of a baby step, you take a quantum leap. And I'm here to testify it absolutely works, you guys. And I always say, what do you gotta lose? You know? What do you gotta lose if you open yourself up to these different modalities, these different tools to awaken your energy body and to unlock the hidden higher purpose that is buried under layers and the layers and layers of ancestral karma, unprocessed emotions, unprocessed blocks, right? You guys, the only way to unlock that hidden purpose is to embrace our pain, embrace our shadow, embrace our questions that maybe we've been asking for many, many years. And not suppressing it, not running away from it, but embracing it. You know, I always like to use that metaphor, put the warm blanket of love around your pain, around the wound that is on your heart. We come to this reality with what Richard Rudd calls the sacred wound. The sacred wound. And we're here, you guys, no matter how much you love your children, if you have children, every single human being comes to this reality with a sacred wound, and it's for them to find it, to heal it, to unlock it, and to transform their consciousness, right? Really powerful, really powerful. You guys, I don't know this new feature. It says, you know, your name, and it says it's available to go live with you. Should I click on it? I have no idea. Is it a new feature on live stream? I don't know, you guys. But check it out. Check it out, you guys. So let's kind of sum it up, right? Your DNA is a cosmic library that contains the wisdom from every single incarnation that you've been through. You are an old, old soul. You're so bigger than you are. If you remember that. Ah, Mandy says it's for interviews. Oh, great. Okay, because if I would push, I would have all of you here. It would be a comedy show, right? My entire screen was you. I love it, you guys. So if you remember that, there is no problem that you face in your life that doesn't have solution hidden in your DNA. You only need to access it, you guys. You only need to access it, right? So how do you access it, you say, Katerina? Clear the ancestral stuff, you know? Clear it out. Sometimes, you guys, I know people who clear codependency for over a year because it's been their lifelong pattern. Yes, thank you, David. Thank you for being here. So you guys, imagine that we have this ancestral lineage and it's not a curse. I don't like the word ancestral curse. I see a gift in that. Because when you learn to transmute your karma, you become true alchemist of your destiny. You know, and alchemy is when you take what's been given to you, you know, these raw materials. This pain is the suffering and this confusion and this ancestral baggage that feels like a baggage a lot, right? And you take it and you lovingly learn to transmute it through acceptance, through open heart, through embracing, through seeing the gift in it, and eventually you will see your deepest purpose that lays like a thread in your entire life story. In your entire life story. And darlings, since we are moving through this acceleration of energies, we are in the 5th dimension already. 3rd dimension is an old story. We're still dragging some energies, of course, but we are ascending. And ascension is simply like our vibrational energetic dial got turned up. You know, how many people told you, oh my God, a year went by like this? Guys, it's only gonna get faster. You can count on it. So our time is very, very precious. And when you open your DNA, it's almost like you unlock your potential. So let's say right now, at the best, you and I operate at 20%. Imagine 80% of our greatest soul potential lays dormant, lays heavily buried under unprocessed stuff. Imagine when we liberate that power. Imagine when we bring our true soul gifts to the surface. Oh, how fantastic life will be. When you activate your DNA, you guys, you activate senses beyond your 5 senses. You activate telepathy, you activate clear seeing. Your intuition becomes so sharp, so psychic. You truly become superhuman. You know, and when you activate your DNA, you activate your heart, you realize oneness with others. You realize oneness. So there is no way you're gonna use those superpowers with bad intention. You can't. Once you realize oneness, you're only gonna serve, you're only gonna share, you only want to contribute. So imagine if every single person on the planet realize the power that lays dormant in the library of their DNA. And they start, you know, even contemplating that conversation and start planting that seed of awareness and then start walking, start finding these tools. You know? This is how we transform the world. By transforming our individual consciousness. You and I. This is how we rise. This is how important your inner work is. Ronald says DNA activation is our path of ascension. That's right. That's absolutely right. You guys, I have to tell you, you know, so I did my major DNA activation was last year, you know. I felt like that was the last thing that was holding me back, you know. Hold on, let me open the, hold on you guys, stay with me. I'm gonna open the window. And it's the sunset. It's a sunset, it's so beautiful. Okay, look and see. I am in the golden sun with you. Darlings, some of you will take what I shared and go and research the heck out of DNA activation. I know, some of you are like that. And you go and you just open yourself to this topic, you know, without fear. It's simply a way to open your possibilities, to open your remembrance of your galactic lineage, right? And you guys, if you just have that intention, you know, find there's so many different amazing channelers who channel this information. And some of you will be like, I want accelerated path, Katerina. Well, I have an invitation for you. In just a couple of weeks, I'm taking a small group to literally a 5th dimensional energetic portal of Kauai. And it's the last retreat that I'm leading, you guys. And it's all about DNA activation. You know, really liberating ourselves from the shackles of that ancestral pain. Learning the tools to transmute it on a daily basis. You know, because right now the world desperately calling us to feel the place, you know, for awakened leadership. When all this corruption is going on, how are we going to counterbalance this? We're going to counterbalance with transcending of our own limitations, transmuting our fears, and stepping boldly through authentic leadership. You saw me post about Kauai probably at least a dozen of times. And if it calls you, all I encourage you is to trust the calling of your heart. If it calls you, there is a way. Don't let the logic convince you otherwise. But what I'm here to testify, you guys, once you really start doing DNA activation work, your world massively expands. It's literally like you unlocking a whole new dimensions of who you are. Your vision expands massively. You know, you start thinking, how can I really leave a legacy that future generations will honor me for and honor my contribution? And I'm here to tell you the direct way to do it is to transform your level of consciousness. Transform your level of consciousness. And those of you who are joining, you're already doing that, you guys. And I honor you. I know it's not always easy because you know, we unlock grace in our suffering. In Gene Keys, there's this beautiful phrase that says, suffering is grace. It took me some time to really get it. How can it be? How can it be? You know why suffering is grace? Because suffering is a path. You know, it's like this deepest surrender. Because when you learn to transmute pain, you can transmute anything. Anything. It's the deepest surrender and the deepest opening, you know? The deepest opening. So, the sunset I've missed. And I have wine waiting for me. And my sunset. And I got carried away in this live stream. But you guys, if this topic calls you, and if you recognize on the level of the soul, I encourage you to trust the call and reach out to me. Let's have a conversation. This is the last event that I lead this year. Next year, I feel I'm going to transition to pilgrimages, you know? I've been talking about it here and there, kind of planting the seeds. Because one of the things that I do, and I encourage you to do the same, is give voice to your big vision, you know? Next year, I'm like, I want to take a month, I want to take 2 weeks and just go travel around the world and really just go to the powerful place and integrate the power of this place and let it activate my soul. Let it activate, you know, the dormant powers, the wisdom of my ancestors. It's not going to happen on your couch. Even if it's as pretty and elegant like mine, it doesn't happen on the couch. It happens when we take a courageous move, you know, and we go on a sacred pilgrimage to connect to our heart from the place of intimacy and openness. So come to Kauai if it calls you. And you guys, and if you would like to learn more about DNA activation, I may do another course. It would be like a Karma Clearing 3.0. I like to do it probably in December because that's where we want to clear out stuff, right? We just want to let go of stuff. We don't want to drag it to the next year. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. And I also offer it privately if some of you really desire to receive it on. Tony says it doesn't happen on the couch. That's right. It doesn't. It doesn't happen on the couch, you guys. Yeah, and if some of you would like to talk to me about private DNA activation or private karmic clearing work, I've done it very, very successfully with quite a lot of people. You know, it's just destiny activation. It's a soul shift. You know, people find their love, they dream vacations, their inner callings, they break through scarcity mindset. All of these huge breakthroughs. I don't talk about it often, you know, sometimes I make it available, and in the month of October I have some time to dedicate. So if you are maybe going through, you know, some heavy karmic stuff and just really would benefit from somebody like myself to offer you this divine healing and divine activation, reach out to me. There is many different ways you can accelerate your spiritual path. If something that I shared today resonates with you, it's worth to explore it in the conversation, right? It's not going to happen on the couch. It's going to happen through the courageous trust and following a path of synchronicity. And the final thing I want to share with you guys is when you start moving on this accelerated path, the first thing you're going to know is the path of synchronicities, signs, soul breadcrumbs. Follow them, follow them, follow them, right? You're so welcome, Ram. You're so welcome. Yeah, just follow the breadcrumbs. Every breadcrumb that your soul gives leads you to the next step to unfoldment of your higher purpose. It was so fun to share this with you guys. Yeah, so fun. I love you very much. Once again, if you'd love to talk about Kauai, reach out to me. I do not know another island that has 5D energies, you know, where you can go and really just expect a rebirth, expect a massive spiritual rebirth. You know what I mean? If that excites you and maybe scares you a little bit, that's good, because that's where, you know, something big opening is gonna happen. And yeah, that's where I'm here for, you guys. I often describe myself as a transition person. You know, my work in the world is really leading people from one level of consciousness to the next, and how it express, you know, business, spiritual, here and there, but it's all from one level consciousness to the next. And it's an honor to hold space and, you know, and be with you and share this. All right, darlings, I love you very much. Thank you for your presence. If you resonate with this video, please hit the heart, the little heart button. So my posts, you can see them more often. And if you know somebody who is looking for information that I just shared in this video, follow your intuition and share it. Bless you.